So I have here several different examples of cyanotypes, including the ones that we made today. You can see that this needs to dry still, so it will be even darker. But that even just that shadow of Snow White's face, that you can see the profile clearly. And then this is the other one we made today with the grasses that we put the plexiglass on top of, so it pressed it down against the paper. You can compare that to the one I made yesterday when I didn't. It's actually the same little piece of grass and roots that I didn't use something to press it down. So you can see here I caught the roots, and here they disappeared because they weren't right against the paper itself. On my left is, this one is the piece that we made today with the same type of objects that are used, or actually the same objects that are used in this one. And if you compare the two, I think this one is a more dynamic composition. These circles, although there is repetition, they're all sort of placed on the page. Whereas here, when I slowed down and took more time, you can see that some of the objects go off the edges, and even the negative space is a little more interesting in this piece. One thing I haven't mentioned before is that when you're working with a variety of objects and trying to give the impression of a random placement, overlapping objects rather, is something that can help give that impression. And on this one, actually, you can't make it out very well, but I did write letters with a Sharpie on the plexi itself. And that's something I would do more experimentation with. But some people use Mylar or transparency to do drawings and then put that on top of the cyanotype to expose it that way. So most of this time I've been talking about composition and design elements. I want to show you too that this process, like I've said, is really open to play and experimentation. What I did for this one is I took a bag of plastic, not real bugs, and just threw them on the paper. And this is what is the result, which I'm happy with. So feel free to play also when you're making these. This one I wanted to show you because in my mind it's a failure. I don't think it came out as well as I would have liked to. This is one where I used the plexi, but it was lifted above the paper. I actually used 2 twigs that you can see here to hold the plexi up. And I did have some sunblock on the paper and then drew with Sharpie this little picture of a house. But I think because it was lifted above it, you don't get the whites in this, so you don't have as much contrast as you do, say, with some of these other objects. Here I have examples of work made by students in past workshops. And I wanted to show you, again, talking about composition. Although I love this piece and the texture and the sharpness of the grass and the dandelions, I think going off the edge of the paper, while it does do it here, all of this blue here is, again, called negative space. And I think would work better if some of these objects came up into them or even off the edges of the page. I want to show you these 2 examples made by students because they used a variety of objects, some that were opaque, some that will block the light entirely, such as this comb that's made out of a thick plastic. And then on top here, they used bubble wrap, where you can see it is that the light actually went through the bubble wrap, but it still recorded that texture here. And here, I thought this was interesting that the student used a ViewMaster slide, and you can actually see the little negatives, the little images from that ViewMaster. This piece was done by a student. You can see it's a larger size, and actually this cyanotype or sun paper does come in different sizes and also different weights. So this is a thinner paper, and this is on some kind of watercolor paper. And I want to show how they used repetition with these horses, but again made a change in scale. So this horse is much smaller, and it looks like they may even have moved it, maybe took it off halfway through, because it's not as white as these ones here. And then I don't know what these dots are. It looks almost like rice. But again, people have experimented with splattering water on the paper. There are all sorts of different things that you can try. I also want to let you know that you can also buy pieces of fabric in actually different colors that are pre-coated with the cyanotype material. So if you enjoy this process and want to keep going, that's one option for you. I've had students use these to make patches that they've then sewn on jackets or bags. So that is one thing that you can try. And then if you really want to do more of this process, there's actually, we're pretty lucky to have a place in New Mexico that's called Bostick and Sullivan, and I have links to their business so you can find them. But they sell actually the chemistry itself so that you can coat your own paper or your own tamale husks or whatever fabric that you use. And this makes it a lot more cost effective than actually buying things that are pre-coated. And it also allows you to do kind of fun things. So this is, what you do is you paint it on. And so then you get to have these, instead of a sharp edge, you get to have these interesting, more painterly types of edges on your pieces. And these two were done with negatives. So I just want to show you, if you have access to printers, this is actually a test piece that I did to check for exposure. But I printed this on an inkjet printer, and then this is the result of my test that I did, and this is pre-coated fabric. And then the different kinds of fabric you use can turn out differently. So this is one that I just picked up some kind of cotton that has a tooth in it, and made this cyanotype of my daughter. So I've provided a list of things that you can use to make cyanotypes, but as I've said, you really can use anything. Anything you find in your house, anything you find outside, and this process really lends itself to experimentation and play, and making mistakes, and learning from them, and trying something else. So I hope you enjoy this workshop.